Hi everyone, good evening. Today is 3rd of August 2024 and Jain Irrigation came out with its Q1 25 numbers recently. We did a thorough analysis of the business and its potential to be considered for investment about 3 months back. The video can be viewed here and I will also leave a link in the description. The viewer said that the Q1 numbers are really bad and his question was, is my investment thesis in Jain Irrigation still a valid thesis? Do I still stand by it? Before we get into Jain Irrigation as such, let me explain a thing to you. When we look at a stock, when I look at a stock to invest in, I'm not looking at it from a 3 or 6 month perspective. I'm looking at least a 3 to 5 year perspective. Now, when I look at 3 to 5 years perspective, there will always be bad quarters and exceptional issues in the environment which will affect the business. These blips in performances due to some management mistakes or external issues will not really affect my investment thesis until and unless there is a structural issue. Yes, my investment thesis in Jain Irrigation still stands in spite of the bad quarter, and we will quickly get into why it stands so. So first, let's look at the numbers. Q1 revenues dipped by about 13%. That itself is an issue. It was a weak quarter. The good silver lining here is that the operating margins were maintained at 12.5% and they really did not suffer. Yes, was it a weak quarter? Yes, it was. But let's dig a little deeper into the management commentary and see what they have to say about it. First, they accepted it was a weak quarter. At the same time, they said that they are still predicting a very, very strong H2 for this year. Quarter 2 is normally bad for agri-processing companies due to the rainy season prevalent in the country, and Q3 and Q4 are normally the strongest, so management is still predicting a very strong H2 going forward. Their annual revenue guidance still stands at 7,000 crores in spite of weak Q1. And that means that they are looking at a 16-17% growth in turnover on an annualized basis. At yet another place in the transcript, they said that they are looking at doubling the business in 3 to 5 years. That essentially tells me that from a 6,000 crore turnover company today to become a 11-12,000 crore company in about 4 to 5 years. And of course, with doubling in turnover comes better margins, comes better fixed overhead absorption and better net profit margins. And that's the overall guidance. Within the overall guidance, there were a few directions which the management said they're taking. First, they are focusing on exports. They want to grow the exports to counter the cyclic nature of the domestic agri business. Secondly, in the food processing business, it is currently dominated by mango and onion processing, with garlic and tomato being, small contributors. What they are trying to do is they're trying to increase the share of garlic processing and tomato processing so that, when mango and onions are not available or in the off season, the plants can continue functioning at a good capacities. What they are trying to do is strengthen their distribution network in north and east, where they've been traditionally weak in terms of their micro irrigation and pipe distribution, plastic distribution business. So overall, I see that yes, they have a very strong vision. They are also working in the right directions. The steps they're taking is in the right direction. And yes, historically, if we see for the past 2-3 years, the management has been able to deliver on what it's committing. The performance of the management is acceptable. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion still remains the same. The quarter was bad, but I still believe the thesis stands. I will keep an eye on it, of course, and track the performance over the next coming quarters. One bad quarter does not mean the business or the recovery plan is not happening. That's my take on it. One big disclaimer: you as an investor, should do your own research and consult your own advisor before taking any action on this stock. This video is not an investment advice. This is just my thoughts on the performance of the company. This is certainly not an investment advice of any kind. With that, we'll end this video. Until next time, happy investing.